Okay, we will start with the theories of economic development, and in that, the first theory is classical theory, which has components like laissez-faire policy, which means the invisible hand, which maximizes the national income. The second one is capital accumulation, which says that larger savings help more to gain more national income. Third one is profits, which are the incentives to investment. Uh, profits, the larger the profits, the larger the capital accumulation, you know, and the larger the capital accumulation, larger the savings, which in turn helps the national income. Fourth one is tendency of profits to decline. Some of the reasons are competition increases. Smith says increase in wages, and Ricardo says increase in rent. All these reasons affect the profits and which tend to decline in the long run. And fifth one is stationary state due to scarcity, which Smith highlights. Smith again, Adam Smith. Uh, Stationary state can be explained like when once the profit starts decline, the process continues still till profits become zero. Population and capital accumulation stop increasing, and the wage rate reaches the subsistence level, which means the lowest level possible. So, scarcity of natural resource that finally stops growth and leads the economy to the stationary state, as Smith highlights. So, we'll go to the second one, uh, where Adam Smith theory of economic growth. So, components are first one natural law, which he says free and independent action for everyone, and in that he highlights which helps to maximize the output, where he says that when one has a freedom, he can or she can maximize the output with his own ability. Second component is laissez-faire policy, which we said, which I discussed already. Third one is production function. Adam Smith gives production function with three factors. The labor, which is more labor has more emphasis on. Adam Smith have given more emphasis on labor, capital, and land. Fourth one is division of labor. The rate of growth is determined by the size of productive labor, as Smith says. Fifth one is capital accumulation. Of course, the more capital, the better the national income, which will help, of course, the businesses to grow. And sixth one is the process of growth. Uh, yeah. In that process, there are some agents of growth like farmers, producers, businessmen, etc. Not the government, of course. And when agricultural surplus arises as a result of economic development, the demand for commercial services and manufactured articles arises. And this process goes on and becomes the cyclical growth pattern, which in turn helps grow the national income more, as Smith suggests, more like says. So the next one is Marxian theory. Karl Marx has given a theory of economic development where he contributed in three aspects, namely the broad aspect and economic interpretation of history, in narrower aspect of specifying the motivating forces of capitalist development, and the final aspect is like the alternative path of planned economic development, of course, which we saw in the Russian uh, uh, undivided Russia, which was before. and then Cold War happened, and a lot of things, and disintegration happened. But the start of planned economy and planning started from the undivided Russia. So Marxian theory has three components, where he says materialistic interpretation of history, where all events that are the result of continuous economic struggle, where he says the main cause of these struggles are the conflict between mode of production and relations of production. So when he goes on to say that haves and have not, and the other theories that he says like those who have like he has like he uses the word propertied and non-propertied classes. Society's class structure he is defining. The second component is surplus value. So according to him, two protagonists of capitalism are workers and capitalists. Workers who are the one that sell their labor power, and the capitalists are the one who own the means of production. So capitalists are going to give the wage to labor, that is worker, and in turn the workers are going to sell their labor to capitalists. It is clear. Okay. And he highlights that mainly surplus labor which goes into capitalist pocket. So what is surplus labor? Surplus labor is when uh, if a laborer works for 10 hours a day, let's say, but it takes him 6 hours of labor to produce goods to cover his subsistence. Subsistence as in lowest level of income where he can at least live, not the luxury or anything else, just living, not dying. That's it. So the difference worth of 4 hours, that is 6 hours of work, and but working for 10 hours, but just 6 hours to produce a good. So that 4 hours of labor goes into the capitalist pockets, as Marx calls this surplus value, which in turn he names it surplus labor, and that's the second component. Third one is of course the capital accumulation, which he was against it, as he always advocated capital accumulation led to more separation of labor class. So let's move on to the fourth one, which is Schumpeterian theory. He assumes perfect competition and stationary equilibrium, where stationary equilibrium and perfect competition is like there won't be any profits, no interest rates, no savings, no investment, no involuntary unemployment. That is like no one is unemployed uh, just because there is no work. Like everybody gets the work, as he is assuming, and all economic activities are repetitive in timeless economy. That's one of the assumptions that he is referring to. Now, the one of the things that he is mentioning is cyclical process involving the nation's growth pattern, where there are four to five phases, and this is the graph that has been in the textbooks, where this is the primary wave and this is the secondary wave, which goes on from where we say uh, good prosperity of the nation, then a recession, then a depression, and then a revival, and then again a prosperity, and then goes on. This cycle is a cyclical process which Schumpeter gave his theory based on. So there is the first phase where purchasing power of uh, uh, population is increased. How it is increased? Increased by credit creation by banks. or the one that give loans, or anyone that is able to provide loans, basically increasing the money supply in the economy. Now then, this will help increase the innovation and a more uh, or more optimism in the economy, which can lead to uh, booms, which is this part of the uh, growth the trajectory. Boom as in uh, over investment and over demand of any any commodity, as in it was seen in 91 as we liberated. Manmohan Singh ji introduced LPG in 1991, and uh, Indian consumer market had a small boom, and of course that's that. Mhm. So third one is declining profits, which is this one, this part where the profits tend to decline. It's always the case. We have seen it in first and second theory as well. That classical theory says that there is always a decline in profits in the long run. So Schumpeter also says this. And fourth one is depression, which is this part. And then again, the equilibrium is restored. So this is this part. So Schumpeter gives this theory. Well, he ultimately says that innovation brings any revival, and what innovation needs is purchasing power and more demand. Demand and innovation are the two important starting points for any cyclical process to, you know, get on a track where this is equilibrium path where the economy should be ideally. Because there is yeah. The fifth one is the balanced and unbalanced growth, where balanced growth is given by Norks and unbalanced growth is given by Hirschman. Balanced growth and unbalanced growth has uh, identically what do you say, identically opposite uh, phenomena, you can say that, like harmony, consistency, and equilibrium in balanced growth, and disharmony, inconsistency, disequilibrium in unbalanced growth. Balanced growth was more on balanced growth had emphasis on more on uh, more investment, more uh, savings, and the role of the state, role of the supply limitations, supply inelasticities, and all that, of course. And unbalanced growth requires less amount of capital, making investment in only leading sectors, which is was not advocated by a balanced growth, where they say all the sectors should be balancing with investments and so on. So where this balanced growth is pushed by literally pushed by Rosenstein Rodan, who gave the big push theory, where he says that any economy needs a big initial momentum. If not, then it would fail to achieve self-generating and cumulative growth. Where like this, if this doesn't have where we saw in Schumpeter that innovation, it needs innovation to get to the starting point. Just like that, Schumpeter, sorry, Rosenstein Rodan is saying that It needs a big initial momentum, and if not, then there won't be any growth in the economy. And marginal increments in investment, marginal as in really small increments in investment is really not the useful for the economy. As he is suggesting that small investments are not important. If you have to make the investments, you have to go large, and a big sterilization or influx of money supply in any sector of the economy will eventually uh, boost the boost that sector and get the economy on track, on a growth trajectory at least. So also there are some invisibilities and externalities which was given by Professor Rodan with a view to specify the areas where big push needs to be applied, of course. And they are following. The first one is invisibility of production function. Second one is invisibility of demand, and third one is savings, invisibility of savings. Where production function invisibility is like lumpiness of capital, especially in the creation of social overhead capital. So we need a big push in that area. Complement for demand, we have to increase the complementarity, which means we have to push the area that is complementary to uh, what sector you are intended to grow. The third one is savings, of course, and we have to, of course, incent have we have to incentivize the people to go for more savings, which is always a good, better and good thing when an economy needs to go on a track. So that's that. In the next class, more like next discussion video, we will see some models of eco growth, where we will see like Harold Domore and Solo, where of course Caldor, Hicks, Robinson, and yeah, 2 3 models are there. They are simple, Harold model is like warranted actual growth and all that. So I will see you in the next lecture, next discussion video. Have a nice day. Bye.